you've focused on something that I'm a firm believer in, and that's branding, self-branding, marketing, social media. Like, I'm looking at this list of things that you sort of done, and places you've been featured in, and various publications. Obviously, branding is important for both Sure and for yourself. And I apologize for calling you a keynote. I didn't mean to. I saw a panel speaker. I just figured, oh, he speaks a lot. He must have done it once or twice.
No, I've been like
But
invited to a panel once, but it sounded good. Now I have something to aspire to. Like, hey,
listen,
I
like,
got
it's
something to say. Hire me.
yeah, yeah, exactly. No, no, listen, you'll get it eventually if you keep this up. It doesn't take long for the requests to start coming in, and especially now with everyone's, everyone's sitting at home right now, unfortunately. But people are having all these virtual conferences, and it's very easy to just like, I get tons of requests just to chat about this, that, and the other. Like, and it's a great easy way to build out your brand, because some of these organizations that host these events, they have big followings and whatnot, and you don't have to travel, you don't have to take 4 hours of your night. You're just hopping on a Zoom call and you have access to their entire. So, that's one thing that I love doing now. But anyways, that's sort of getting off topic. So why are you focusing on building out, your brand, and also the brand of the company? And why are you so heavy on social media when real estate, which is, I think we can agree, is a very, well, obviously it's one of the probably the oldest industries that you can think of. A lot of these companies, you look at their social media, to be quite honest, it sucks. Like, it's just horrible. It's horrifying what they think is acceptable to post. So, and they're not so different than a lot of like Fortune 100, Fortune 500. Like, there's very few companies that I find get it. And that's why I think it's so interesting that, like, these startups or even these solopreneurs or individuals can build a brand for themselves that is equivalent, if not more exciting and engaging than what a Fortune 500 entire marketing department can do. So, you're doing this properly, and why is that? And speak to me about why you see the use for it.
But the brand is so important if you want to stand out in a crowded marketplace. And when the rise of social media happened, and like Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this a lot, but the playing field just got leveled. Like, Mercedes Benz can make this a beautiful commercial. Well, I have a camera too. My iPhone X Pro, and a little bit of editing, I could make something almost as awesome. And once you realize that you can put out super high quality content, now it's not easy and you're going to mess it up. I've made every mistake putting out a video that's known to man, at least as far as I can tell. So you got to fail forward, just throw yourself out there. But the branding is so important, because if you don't get attention, if you don't get people to know what you do, why you do it, how you do it, why you might be better, then you're never going to get the chance to even have the conversation. So there's the old age-old thing, marketing versus sales, marketing and sales. And they're both equally as important, because, hey, salespeople like to say, oh, sales is the king, sales skills number one. And, I'm kind of in that camp a lot of times. But if you don't have anyone to talk to, if you're not getting opportunities and you can't market, it doesn't matter how great your mindset is and how great your presentation is if you can't give it to anybody. The same thing vice versa, though. Like, you got to marry those two together and give them equal amount of energy and effort, because if you are good at marketing, and like you said, we spend a ton of time on that. Every time we list a house for sale, I don't care how low the price range might be. I don't care the location. We do everything full blast all the time. Because if it's going to have our brand on it, we want you to know you're getting world-class photography, hundreds of HDR pictures that we're going to take down and maybe use the best 30, 40, or 50. We're going to get the drone out and get some aerial footage. We're going to do a video, whether that's me on a green screen explaining the house with, the pictures coming up in the background, or me physically at the property, giving you the kind of HGTV. Here's all the things you need to know about this house that you might miss if you just looked at the pictures. So we create all this content, and that's very important. And let's be honest, that does help sell the seller on you. Now, the only way it's going to help you actually sell the house and deliver on your promise is if you know how to distribute that content. And Scott, this. You put out amazing content all the time. So I'm preaching to the choir. But for your audience, it's like, and I know you've had some help. I think your girlfriend's like in the game, help, as a consultant.
Oh yeah,
In that
no, like,
world.
listen, like, even she does. She's into like the whole social media scene. She runs a marketing company with her sisters, so she's very much like, like a head first into the whole social media, and that's what literally her entire business is. Now it's not my entire business, but it's still, I've been a fan, putting it lightly, since I saw the opportunity, and I saw the ability for like the individual to have that kind of reach with like very few marketing dollars. That's what I find so incredible. And so the opportunity is right, like really, really fresh still. So
Yeah, I mean it's fertile soil, and like
yeah,
if you follow Scott at all, like the book you just put out is going to be awesome. I did order it by the way; it hasn't came yet. But this guy's like an amazing influencer on LinkedIn, and it's because you have to create the content, and everyone kind of has a hard time with that. Do I look okay? Is what I'm saying good enough? Am I going to be able to impact somebody? Do I need a better guest? And then even if you can cross that bridge and capture this content with some decent audio and video, you have to know how to distribute it. And in my world, that is very important because we're hyper local. Real estate's hyper local. So just to answer your question, like we went so big on branding because we want to be known as the people who do it right the first time, get it done. You know, if you think hiring us is expensive, try hiring someone else, and then you have to list it twice. Go
yeah.
cheap and do it twice, kind of thing. So it's very
How do
important for
you
every business.
now? One thing I like to pull out of this is like, your agents. How comfortable are they selling like this? Because I don't see, again, a lot of brands doing this. So when they join Sure Group, um, is that sort of like a little bit uncomfortable for somebody that's been selling for 20 years, 30 years?
Yeah, you know, it can be. And it's not like we run this um, Auschwitz camp where it's like, you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
We like to grow people on it, and everyone does things a little bit differently. So the way I sell is going to be different than the way you sell. It's going to be different than the way each agent on our team sells. But what we want to do is we want to give them the canvas, hand them the right tools. Hey, this is available to you. This is at your disposal, and show them a lot of examples. Like I think one of the things we've done well at the Sure Sales Group here in Baltimore is we lead from the front. I'm not asking people to do things that I'm not doing all the time myself. And it's very often that when you grow a team, that the CEO or these realtors call themselves CEOs all the time. I find it hilarious. I'm just a realtor like everyone else. I happen to kind of manage some of the team. But what this managing partner will do, they'll take themselves out and just direct everyone else what to do and just collect. And that's okay for a little bit, but this market changes so much and the industry changes so much, just like all of our industries. And if you're not sitting at the kitchen tables, eating what you kill, understanding the buyer and seller personas and how they're changing and different technology comes into the marketplace and different disruptors come in, you're going to fall behind. So all we do is we're in it every day, and we have our weekly meeting and we share and say, look, this is what worked for me. Like last week, I just did a whole presentation on why 2008 crisis is different than this COVID-19. I had all of the charts. And I got like 10 referrals from it. God, it was crazy. I blasted it out to my database. Say, hey, I wasn't trying to sell anything. This is why we think this is different. There's a lot more equity in homes now. People haven't been borrowing like crazy. The appreciation hadn't been crazy before this, and yada yada yada. And I just shared that with my team and said, look, you guys should probably consider doing this. Rip off my presentation. Do it yourself. So we do a lot of encouraging, but you don't have to do it. But if you're not going to do the behavior that we know leads to results, don't come crying to me that you're not
Hmm.
hitting your goals, because